Embark on a mystical voyage across oceans, where ancient tales merge seamlessly with the unwritten pages of history, where warriors of legend command the tides, and a culture deeply rooted in the essence of the earth shapes its journey through time. Witness the masterful navigation that mapped the stars, the intricate artistry that weaves identity, and the spiritual bonds that unite a people with their land. From the heartbeats of the Haka to the whispers of the forest, we trace a legacy that has danced with the ages. Our journey culminates in a land where the past and present sing in harmony, cradling the spirit of resilience and unity. Our destination? The vibrant heartlands of Aotearoa, home to the indomitable Maori. Embark on a captivating journey through time, tracing the footsteps of the Maori people, New Zealand's indigenous guardians. Their story is a rich tapestry woven from the threads of migration, innovation, and unyielding resilience, deeply entwined with the lush landscapes of Aotearoa and the ancestral legacies that pulse through their veins. Our saga begins in the late 13th century, with daring voyagers from eastern Polynesia navigating the treacherous Pacific on canoes, waka, to discover the untouched shores of New Zealand. These pioneers, through centuries of isolation, blossomed into the Maori, forging a vibrant culture renowned for its intricate language, mythologies, and artistic expressions. In the realm of tribal kinships, the Maori thrived, with social life flourishing under the watchful guidance of Wana, extended family, Hapu, sub-tribe, and Iwi, tribe. Mastering the bounty of land and sea, they cultivated the sweet kamara, hunted, and fished, all while crafting a world resplendent with woodworking wonders, weaving, and carvings that tell tales of gods and heroes. The narrative takes a dramatic turn with the arrival of Dutch explorer Abel Tasman in 1642, a prelude to the transformative encounter with James Cook in 1769. This era of European exploration marked the beginning of profound changes for the Maori, weaving threads of trade, conflict, and cultural exchange into the fabric of their lives. 1840 heralded a momentous chapter with the Treaty of Waitangi, a double-edged sword promising protection under British sovereignty while igniting disputes over land, rights, and interpretations that would fuel the fires of the New Zealand Wars. Facing adversity, the Maori endured through centuries of land loss, disease, and assimilation. Yet, the 20th century witnessed a renaissance of Maori culture, a resurgence of pride in Te Reo Māori, and traditions that have shaped New Zealand's identity on the global stage. In the pursuit of justice, the Waitangi Tribunal now stands as a beacon of hope, addressing historical grievances and fostering a path towards healing and unity. Today, the Maori's influence permeates every facet of New Zealand society, from politics to culture, celebrating a heritage that is both ancient and ever-evolving. The Maori journey, from the first waka touching Aotearoa's shores to the vibrant cultural force they are today, is a testament to the power of endurance, the depth of tradition, and the enduring spirit of the people.
Why was the Maori student good at math? Because he could count his ancestors back for centuries.
Maori culture and traditions represent a rich and vibrant facet of New Zealand's national identity, woven from the ancient threads of their Polynesian heritage and adapted over centuries of interaction with their environment and outside influences. At the heart of Maori culture is a profound connection to the land, whenua, the sea, moana, and the spiritual world, which informs their way of life, art, and social organization. Central to understanding Maori culture is the concept of whakapapa, or genealogy, which outlines the relationships between all living and non-living things. Whakapapa is a foundational principle that ties individuals to their family, ancestors, and the natural world, establishing a person's identity and responsibilities within the tribe, iwi. The Marae, a communal and sacred meeting ground, stands as the cultural hub for Maori communities, serving both social and spiritual functions. It is home to the Waranui, meeting house, which is often elaborately carved and decorated to represent tribal ancestors and stories. The Marae is a place for meetings, celebrations, funerals, tangihanga, and educational gatherings, embodying the principles of hospitality, manakatanga, and communal unity. Te Reo Māori, the Maori language, is an essential vehicle for transmitting culture, history, and identity. Oral traditions, including myths, legends, and histories are passed down through generations, preserving the knowledge and wisdom of the ancestors. These stories, rich with symbolism and teaching, are central to the Maori worldview, explaining the origins of the people, the land, and the universe. Maori arts are a vibrant expression of identity and heritage, encompassing carving, wakero, weaving, raranga, tattooing, tamoko, and performing arts. Carving is a highly respected art form, with wood, bone, and greenstone, punamu, being transformed into intricate sculptures, canoes, waka, and ancestral figures. Weaving techniques produce garments, like the feathered cloak, korowai, baskets, and mats, integrating traditional patterns and symbolism. Tamoko, the traditional practice of marking the body and face, is a rite of passage and a visible representation of a person's identity, achievements, and status. Performing arts play a pivotal role in Maori culture, with the haka, a powerful dance accompanied by chanting, being internationally recognized. Originally performed by warriors before battle, the haka is now a ceremonial act to honor guests, celebrate occasions, or challenge opponents in sports. Waiata, songs, and chants are also integral, used to convey emotions, tell stories, and welcome or farewell guests. Maori spirituality is deeply connected to the natural world, with a belief system that includes gods, atua, representing various aspects of nature. Rituals and ceremonies are conducted to honor these deities, seek their protection, or give thanks, often involving prayers, karakia, and offerings. Today, Maori culture is experiencing a resurgence, with increased efforts to revitalize the language, arts, and traditional practices. This revival is not only about preserving the past, but also about adapting and integrating Maori perspectives into all areas of New Zealand life, from education and politics to media and tourism, ensuring the vibrant continuation of Maori traditions into the future.
Why did the Maori farmer bring his sheep to the talent show? Because they could all do the poi dance like pros.
Maori spirituality and beliefs are deeply interwoven into the fabric of daily life, embodying a worldview that connects the physical and spiritual realms through a profound relationship with the land, the sea, the sky, and all living things. At the core of this spiritual system is the concept of wakapapa, or genealogy, which extends beyond human ancestry to include the natural world, thus positioning humans as part of a larger, interconnected family that includes the environment, the gods, and the ancestors. The Maori pantheon comprises a range of deities, each associated with specific aspects of the natural world and human experience. Key figures include Ranginui, the Sky Father, and Papachuanuku, the Earth Mother, whose separation by their children created the world of light in which we live. Tawirumadia, god of weather and storms, who expresses his anger at his parents' separation through tempestuous weather. Tangaroa, god of the sea, representing the vast oceans that surround New Zealand and the abundance within them. Tain Mahuta, god of forests and birds, who is credited with creating humans and is revered for his life-giving properties. Tumatawenga, god of war, embodying the aspects of conflict and human resilience. Maori spiritual practices are characterized by rituals that seek to maintain harmony between the spiritual and physical worlds. Karakia, prayers or incantations, are recited to invoke the god's protection, bless various activities, or lift tapu, sacredness or restriction. These practices underscore the importance of respecting the spiritual significance of places, objects, and people. The concepts of tapu and noa play crucial roles in Maori spirituality, governing the conduct within both the spiritual and social realms. Tapu can refer to the sacredness and restriction, something that carries spiritual weight and requires adherence to certain protocols. Noa, on the other hand, refers to the ordinary or common state, free from restriction. The transition from tapu to noa often involves rituals to remove tapu and restore balance. The land holds immense spiritual significance for Maori, seen as both a source of life and identity and as an ancestor to be respected and cared for. This connection is reflected in the Maori saying, "I am the land, and the land is me," highlighting the inseparable bond between the people and their environment. Ancestors are also venerated, with their achievements, struggles, and histories forming an integral part of the community's collective identity and wisdom. In contemporary New Zealand, Maori spirituality continues to thrive, integrating traditional beliefs with modern life and informing everything from environmental conservation efforts to health and well-being practices. The revitalization of Maori language and culture has further strengthened the visibility and practice of Maori spirituality, ensuring its transmission to future generations.
How do Maori keep warm during the winter? They gather around the fire and share stories.
The Treaty of Waitangi, signed on February 6, 1840, is a foundational document in New Zealand's history, marking the beginning of formal relations between the British Crown and the Maori people. Named after the place in the Bay of Islands where it was first signed, the treaty is regarded as New Zealand's founding document, yet it has been a source of debate and contention for much of the country's history. In the early 19th century, as European settlers increasingly arrived in New Zealand and interactions with Maori communities grew, concerns over land ownership, sovereignty, and law led the British Crown to seek a formal agreement to establish government authority while protecting Maori rights. British Representative Lieutenant Governor William Hobson was sent to negotiate the treaty with Maori chiefs. The Treaty of Waitangi consists of 3 articles, although there are significant differences between the Maori and English versions, which have led to disputes over interpretation. In the English version, the first article granted the British Crown sovereignty over New Zealand, while the Maori version is often interpreted as granting the right of governance in return for protection, without ceding sovereignty. The second article guaranteed Maori full ownership of their lands, forests, fisheries, and other possessions, while also allowing them the exclusive right to sell land to the Crown. The third article promised all Maori the rights and privileges of British subjects. The immediate impact of the treaty was to legitimize British colonization and settlement, but differing understandings and translations of the text led to significant land disputes and conflicts, notably the New Zealand Wars. Many Maori felt that the Crown did not uphold its promises, particularly regarding land rights and self-determination. The Treaty of Waitangi has gained increasing recognition as a living document that continues to shape New Zealand's legal and political landscape. The Waitangi Tribunal, established in 1975, allows Maori to seek redress for breaches of the treaty by the Crown, leading to significant settlements and acknowledgements of historical injustices. It has also become a cornerstone of New Zealand's biculturalism, guiding the relationship between the state and Maori communities. Each year, Waitangi Day on February 6 commemorates the treaty's signing, celebrated as a national holiday and an opportunity for reflection on the relationship between Maori and non-Maori New Zealanders. While the Treaty of Waitangi remains a subject of debate, it undeniably represents a critical juncture in New Zealand's history, symbolizing efforts towards partnership, reconciliation, and mutual respect between the Crown and Maori peoples.
Why did the Treaty of Waitangi bring a lot of laughter? Because it promised peace, but ended up creating a whole lot of confusion.
Modern Maori society reflects a dynamic interplay between traditional values and the realities of contemporary New Zealand, showcasing a vibrant culture that has adapted and thrived despite historical challenges. Today, the Maori people actively participate in all aspects of New Zealand life, contributing significantly to the country's political, economic, cultural, and social fabric, while also striving to preserve and revitalize their rich heritage. Since the late 20th century, there has been a concerted effort to revive Maori culture and language, seen as critical components of New Zealand's national identity. This cultural renaissance has been marked by the revitalization of the Maori language, traditional arts and crafts, and the performing arts, particularly the Haka and Maori performing arts groups. Initiatives such as Maori Language Week, Maori television and radio stations, and immersion schools have played significant roles in promoting Maori language and culture. Politically, Maori have gained greater representation and influence. The Waitangi Tribunal, established to address breaches of the Treaty of Waitangi, has facilitated numerous settlements between the Crown and Maori tribes, acknowledging past injustices and providing compensation. These settlements have enabled many tribes to invest in the social and economic development of their communities. Additionally, the Maori electoral roll and dedicated Maori seats in New Zealand's parliament ensure Maori participation in the political process. Economic empowerment has been a significant focus for modern Maori society. Many tribes have leveraged treaty settlements to build substantial economic enterprises, investing in industries such as forestry, fishing, agriculture, and tourism. Maori businesses and enterprises often incorporate traditional values into their operations, emphasizing sustainability, community benefit, and cultural authenticity. Despite these advances, Maori continue to face social challenges, including disparities in health, education, and employment compared to non-Maori New Zealanders. In response, numerous initiatives aim to address these issues, often through culturally tailored programs that incorporate Maori values, knowledge, and practices. Maori culture has increasingly gained international recognition, with aspects like the haka performed at global sporting events, Maori tattoo art celebrated as a form of personal and cultural expression, and traditional Maori knowledge influencing environmental conservation efforts. As modern Maori society looks to the future, there is a focus on nurturing the next generation, ensuring they are grounded in their heritage while equipped to navigate and succeed in the modern world. This includes advocating for greater recognition of Maori rights, sovereignty, and a more bicultural New Zealand that honors and reflects the partnership envisioned in the Treaty of Waitangi. Modern Maori society is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the enduring strength of cultural identity. It represents a community that honors its past while actively shaping a future that acknowledges and celebrates the unique place of Maori in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Why did the Maori chef get fired? Because he kept adding too much haka to the food. It was too spicy for everyone.
The Maori, New Zealand's indigenous people, have extended their influence far beyond the shores of Aotearoa, making significant contributions to global culture, politics, and social movements. This influence is a testament to the vitality of Maori culture and its ability to resonate with diverse audiences worldwide. Maori culture has captured the global imagination through its powerful performing arts. The haka, a traditional Maori war dance that has been popularized through New Zealand's national rugby team, the All Blacks, is perhaps the most visible manifestation of this. Performed on international stages, the haka showcases Maori culture's dynamism and spiritual depth, serving as a captivating introduction to Maori traditions for people around the world. Maori art, particularly tamoko, traditional tattooing, and wood carving, has gained international acclaim for its intricate beauty and profound symbolism. Tamoko, more than just body art, communicates the wearer's identity, lineage, and achievements. As interest in indigenous tattoo traditions grows globally, tamoko has emerged as a significant cultural export, influencing tattoo artists and enthusiasts worldwide. Maori concepts of environmental guardianship, such as kaitiakatanga, guardianship and conservation, and wakapapa, genealogical connections between all living and non-living things, have contributed to global discussions on sustainability and conservation. These principles, emphasizing respect for the natural world and sustainable use of resources, align with broader environmental movements seeking to address climate change and biodiversity loss. Maori activism has also had an international impact, inspiring indigenous and minority groups worldwide to advocate for their rights, sovereignty, and social justice. The Maori struggle for treaty rights and self-determination, as well as efforts to revitalize language and culture, offer valuable lessons in resilience and advocacy that resonate with other indigenous communities. Beyond the haka, Maori athletes have excelled in various sports on the international stage, serving as role models and ambassadors for New Zealand. Their successes highlight the strength and vitality of Maori culture, promoting a positive image of New Zealand's indigenous heritage globally. Maori filmmakers, actors, and stories have made significant inroads into international cinema, offering nuanced portrayals of Maori life and contributing to the global understanding of Maori culture and history. Films like Whale Rider and Boy have received critical acclaim, showcasing Maori storytelling and providing a platform for Maori voices in the global film industry. Maori have increasingly played a role in New Zealand's diplomatic efforts, embedding Maori cultural perspectives in international relations. This includes the use of Maori cultural protocols in official functions and the incorporation of Maori perspectives in New Zealand's foreign policy, promoting values of peace, cooperation, and mutual respect. The global influence of the Maori is a reflection of their rich cultural heritage, resilience, and the universal appeal of their values and artistic expressions. As ambassadors of their culture, Maori continue to make meaningful contributions to global dialogues on cultural preservation, environmental sustainability, and social justice, affirming their place as a vital and vibrant presence on the world stage. As we draw the curtains on this epic tale, we invite you to carry forward the essence of the Maori story, a testament to the human spirit's capacity to flourish against all odds. If this voyage through the soul of Maori culture and its global influence has stirred your heart, we urge you to like, subscribe, and join us in exploring more untold stories from around the globe. Together, let's continue to celebrate the diverse tapestry of human culture, heritage, and indomitable spirit.